If you are thinking about buying a home in the next 6 months, this may be one of the most important videos you'll watch all year. I've seen buyers spend hundreds of dollars on a home inspection only to discover later that there were warning signs they could have spotted themselves before they ever made an offer. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely recommend getting a professional home inspection. Every buyer should. But there are a lot of things you can look for before you even get to that point, and doing that can save you time, money, and a whole lot of stress. So in this video, I'm going to share some of the biggest red flags I personally look for whenever I walk through a home with a buyer. These are things I've learned over years of helping people buy homes, and they're simple enough that anyone can spot them. And before we jump in, if you're buying a home here in Colorado or really anywhere in the country, I can help. I'm both a Colorado real estate broker and a loan officer, and if you're outside of Colorado, I can connect you with a trusted real estate agent in your area. So just click the link below, fill out the short form, and either I or someone on my team will personally reach out to you. We'll reach out within 24 hours. Number one, watch where the water goes. The first thing I look at has nothing to do with granite countertops or beautiful kitchens. I look at the gutters and downspouts. Are they directing water away from the home? Do they have extensions or splash blocks? Water that constantly drains next to the foundation can soften the soil over time, and that can contribute to foundation movement or settling. Is it always a huge problem? No, but it definitely is something worth paying attention to before you fall in love with the house. Look inside the gutters. While you're already looking up, take a peek inside the gutters. If they're packed with leaves and debris, that is more than just poor maintenance. Leaves hold moisture, and that moisture can eventually damage the wood underneath the edge of the roof. Again, this does not automatically mean that you should walk away from the home. It simply means it's something I would want my home inspector to take a closer look at. Number three, walk around the entire house. One mistake I see buyers make all the time is walking straight through the front door. Instead, take a minute to walk all the way around the outside first. Look at the grading. Does the yard slope away from the home? Look for large cracks in concrete, uneven sidewalks, or obvious foundation concerns. You're not trying to diagnose problems yourself. You're simply looking for clues that deserve a closer inspection. Trust your nose. This is one of the easiest and most overlooked tips I can give you. When you walk into the house, slow down and pay attention to what you smell. Do you notice a musty odor? Any signs of mildew? Does anything smell damp or like sewage? Those smells don't always mean there's a major issue, but they can point to moisture problems, plumbing issues, or hidden mold. I would much rather investigate those before moving forward than after I've already purchased the home. Number five is walk every room. Do not just admire the kitchen and master bedroom. Walk every single room. Pay attention to how the floors feel beneath your feet. Do they feel solid? Do they slope? Are there any soft spots, especially around bathrooms, tubs, or toilets? Soft flooring can sometimes indicate moisture damage or subfloor issues. It may not be a deal breaker, but it's definitely something you want your inspector to evaluate. So these first 5 items just take a few minutes to check, but they can save you thousands of dollars and help you avoid surprises later. So we're now going to cover some of the biggest structural items buyers overlook, including roofs, windows, foundation, warning signs, trees that can damage a home, and one exterior issue that could cost you thousands if you miss it. And if you're getting ready to buy, don't do it alone. Click the link below. Number 6, pay close attention to the roof. One of the biggest expenses you will ever have as a homeowner is replacing the roof. Now, the good news is you don't have to be a roofing expert to spot potential issues. Look for missing shingles, curling shingles, obvious patches, or areas that look uneven. So you may also notice dark streaks on the roof. Most of the time that's simply algae, not necessarily a bad roof. In many cases, it can be professionally cleaned. But if the roof looks worn or has obvious damage, ask questions. How old is it? Has it ever been replaced? Has there ever been an insurance claim? A quality home inspector can often give you a general idea of the roof's condition, but if there's any concern, it's worth having a roofing professional evaluate it as well. Number 7, check the windows. Windows can tell you a lot about how well a home has been maintained. Look for windows that appear foggy between the panes of glass. That's usually a sign that the sill has failed. And it's not necessarily a huge repair, but if multiple windows have broken sills, those replacement costs can add up. Also, open and close a few windows if possible. Do they operate smoothly? Do they lock properly? Sometimes a sticking window can simply need adjustment, but other times it can point to movement in the home. Look for foundation clues. Foundation issues do not always announce themselves with giant cracks. Sometimes the clues are much more subtle. Walk around the exterior and look for stair-step cracks in brick or masonry, large cracks in concrete, areas where previous repairs have been made, uneven sidewalks or driveways right next to the home Inside the home, look for cracks above doors and windows or doors that don't close correctly. None of these automatically mean that there's a major structural issue, but they're absolutely worth asking questions about and having inspected. Number 9, be careful with trees. I love mature trees. They provide shade, privacy, and beautiful curb appeal, but trees planted too close to a home can become expensive. Large root systems can affect foundations, sidewalks, driveways, plumbing lines, and even underground sewer pipes. If there's a very large tree only a few feet from the home, I'd want to know more before moving forward. Again, it doesn't mean don't buy the house. It simply means it's something to investigate. Number 10, watch for water damage. One of the biggest red flags I look for is bubbling paint, stained walls, warped trim, or soft wood around the outside of the home. Those can all be signs that water has been getting where it should not. And water is one of the most expensive problems a homeowner can deal with because it often leads to wood rot or mold if it's left untreated. If you notice bubbling paint or soft trim, do not ignore it. Have your inspector determine whether it's just cosmetic or if there's a bigger issue behind it. So remember, you're not trying to become a home inspector. You're simply learning how to recognize warning signs before you spend money on inspections and before you become emotionally attached to a property. So I'm going to show you some of the biggest mistakes buyers make after they go under contract, including property disclosures, vacant homes, plumbing concerns, and a few simple checks that can save you thousands of dollars before closing. And again, if you're getting ready to buy a home, click the link below. Whether you're here in Colorado or somewhere else, I can connect you with an amazing agent that does business just like me, and I'll respond within 24 hours. So we're on to number 11. I need you to read the seller's property disclosure carefully. This is one of the most overlooked documents in real estate transaction. In most states, sellers are required to complete a property disclosure that explains what they know about the home's condition. And it may include questions like, has the home ever had water damage? Have there been foundation repairs? Has the roof leaked? Have there ever been termite issues? Are there plumbing or electrical problems? Read every page carefully, and if you don't understand something, ask your real estate agent to explain it. Now, there are a few exceptions. For example, if you are buying a foreclosure or an estate sale, the seller often hasn't lived in the home, so they may not be able to provide much information. And that's why inspections become even more important on those properties. Now, number 12, be careful with vacant homes. If a house has been sitting empty for several months, I automatically become more cautious. Why? Because vacant homes can develop problems that are not immediately obvious. If plumbing was not properly winterized, pipes may have frozen or cracked. If the home sat without climate control, excess moisture can create mold or mildew. And sometimes pests move in. Sometimes small leaks become major problems simply because nobody was there to notice them. So that's why I always recommend a thorough inspection on any home that's been vacant for an extended period. And if it's been empty for months, I also recommend asking about the plumbing, HVAC system, and whether utilities have been operating normally. Number 13, we're going to test the doors. Here is a simple trick almost anyone can do. Open and close every interior and exterior door. Do they latch properly? Do they swing open by themselves? Do they stick? One difficult door isn't necessarily a problem, but if several doors throughout the house don't close correctly, that could be a clue that the home has experienced settling or movement over time. It's one more piece of the puzzle that helps you decide whether additional evaluation is needed. So the goal is not to scare you away from buying a home. Almost every house has something that comes up during an inspection. The goal is simply to help you spot potential issues early, ask better questions, and avoid expensive surprises after closing. A great home inspector is incredibly valuable, but they're just one part of the process. The more you understand before you even make an offer, the more confident you will feel throughout the entire transaction. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
I can put you in a house on a hill, put you in a condo in the city, put you in a mansion. Put you in a mansion in Miami, put you in a mansion in Beverly Hills. Put you in a mansion. I can put you in a mansion.